Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today as we interview one of the superstars of Franco-Flemish polyphony, Josquin de Prez.
Bonjour, madame. Thank you for having me.
So, tell me, Josquin, is it okay if I call you by your first name?
Ah, oui, madame. It's quite all right. People always call me by my first name. Josquin le Brouat de Prez is a bit of a mouthful, no?
I'd say so. So, Josquin, you're regarded as one of the greatest composers of your time.
Oh, merci.
How does it feel to be back from the dead?
It warms my heart to hear that my masses and motets are still popular after my death. This is what makes it all worth it, you know. Pardon.
Wow, that is beautiful. So, tell us a bit about your early life.
Well, I can't quite remember, but I think I was born in what you call Belgium, where my father and his father were policemen. As a boy, I received choral training in Condé and then in Cambrai. This led to an opportunity to serve in the Duke of Anjou's chapel in the late 70s, 1470s that is. After his death, myself and the rest of the choir were transferred to Paris and worked for King Louis XI.
Amazing. Sounds like you had an eventful childhood. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but from the mid-1480s to the 1500s, you were employed in Milan and Rome, was it?
Oui, that is correct. I served the Sforzas, I believe, the ruling family of Milan for a long time before I moved to Rome. I had some of the greatest times of my life working in the Sistine Chapel.
Rome must have been beautiful back then.
Oh, oui, madame. It was so full of life. But it eventually became time to move on through, so I returned home and spent a couple of years there in Cambrai, and then another few years at the Burgundian court.
If I may ask, what would you consider to be the standout moments of your life? Your big break?
I think the peak of my career was in 1503. I had the good fortune of being appointed Maestro di Capella at a chapel in Ferrara. They paid me very, very well there. I don't know if you've heard of Henricus Isaac, but they hired me instead of him. I'm clearly the better composer and musician.
Oh my, how thrilling.
It was short-lived though. Unfortunately, I had no choice but to flee once the plague broke out.
It must have been such a stressful time for you.
It's true. Thankfully, I was able to live on my family's land in Belgium at Condé-sur-l'Escaut and have a steady income working as the provost of the Church of Notre Dame there. I had many connections there through my family.
Yes, that is very fortunate. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, right from the man himself. And right after this commercial break, we'll be back with some words from our consulting Josquin scholar, Rogelio de la Vega.
Are you tired of your music sounding like this?
This is terrible! This music doesn't emphasize the text correctly, and each part isn't equal. The canis verbis is too emphasized.
Try listening to music by Josquin de Prez.
Ah, yes! So much better!
You can hear this song and more on your W.W. Norton, A History of Western Music website under the Norton Recorded Anthology of Western Music 7th Edition tab.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here right now with our consulting Josquin
My
scholar.
name is Rogelio de la Vega.
So, tell us a bit about your research.
Oh yes, Josquin was an amazing Renaissance composer. He wrote in all significant vocal forms. Masses, motets, chansons, frottole, that's an Italian comic or love song. At least 374 works were attributed to him. He was very capable of using satire, and he integrated this in his music always. He was born in the area controlled by the dukes of Burgundy back then. This was a very musically influenced plays, which clearly influenced his passion for music. Other composers before him, they wrote treble-dominated works, having the cantus as the most important voice. The tenor accompanies the cantus in two-part counterpoint kind of music. Josquin, however, on the other hand, and other composers at this time, started writing music in which all voices were equally important. And these all are essential to the counterpoint. He was brilliant at writing entrances for all voices at different times and having consonant counterpoint throughout. Another characteristic of his writing was that some cadences were made with any two voices instead of always having the cantus and tenor in them. He learned some composition techniques from Josquin, a well-known composer, singer, choir master, and teacher back then. His style is greatly influential in Josquin's music, like using the cantus firmus in canon. Also, he learned the drive to the cadence technique from him. This technique is a way of ending a phrase by accelerating the notes, either by making them shorter or faster, which gives the same feeling. To emphasize the conclusion of the section, he used several rhymed hymns to compose most of his music. And of course, he was a lover of text, and so the form of the poem itself would often determine the form of the music, which, reflects Josquin's interest in clear delineation of text. He is very well known for being very, very concerned with pitch organization, which for most cadences in his music were some sort of authentic cadence in a way, or either of the mode or the key that was being developed by then.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
It is always a pleasure. My name is Rogelio de la Vega.
And now to Jimmy Blitz, our reporter in the field.
Excuse me, sir. What do you think of the sacred music by Josquin de Point?
I don't understand the question.
Excuse me. What do you think of the sacred music by Josquin de Point?
What?
Nobody's home. Ma'am, excuse me. What do you think of the sacred music of Josquin de Point?
What?
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. What do you think of the sacred music by Josquin de Point?
He's interesting.
Sir, what do you think of the sacred music by Josquin de Point? Sir.
Pearl Harbor.
What do you think of the sacred music by Josquin de Point?
¿Quién? ¿Qué? No, ¿por qué me estás preguntando cosas? Yo solo quiero tomar. No, pero ¿por qué me quitan mi flask? Es mío. Dame mi flask. Yo quiero mi flask. Tengo que tomar. Me gusta tomar. Dame mi flask.
Thanks for joining us today. Tune in next time when we wrestle a crocodile.